Like I think that the industry connotation of a cheat meal is like, hey, on Sunday night you're gonna go just completely gorge yourself and eat whatever you want, and I just think that's irresponsible to ever tell a client like, hey, there's no limitations and you can do whatever you want. And I think that if you're setting someone up for that, like, you're irresponsible with the rest of your approach. Honestly, the emphasis on the cheat meal is indifferent. It's what you're doing the other 6.5 days that completely needs to be changed. Like I'll reference Scott again, right? He had a diet called the cycle diet, and it was basically starve your ass off for 6 days and literally eat whatever you want for a day. Like, and he would he had like a forum, and I was like active on it, and he would like have like crazy people like gaining like 18 pounds in a day, right? Yeah. And so I did the diet, and like, so you know what it takes to get to like shredded glute status. I walked around with shredded glutes like day to day, like I was fucking peeled. I had
just scratching chairs with your shredded glutes.
But I had no sex drive, and it was like the emotional part was what fucked me up. Yeah, I didn't care about training anymore. I really had no interest in life. Yeah. All I thought about was like, man, what am I going to eat on Sunday?
That's just it, man. It's a psychological piece, because when you have an all-out day, and you ever observe, of course you have, you've worked with tons of clients. When you observe somebody who's going through that period of like, oh, it's an all-out day, I can eat whatever I want. Yeah. The binge mentality is not about the food, actually, not at all. You're not even
the behavior of what that promotes.
You're not even enjoying the food.
That's where I'm getting at with it.
It's about the food. It hasn't even gotten in your mouth yet.
That's where I was trying to get. Like when you say like define a cheat meal, like, do I think that the act of allowing somebody to eat without any sort of mindfulness or restriction is a bad thing inherently? I don't. Like, I honestly, I don't think it's the end of the world.
In terms of flexibility.
But I think if somebody's really desiring that, you need to take a step back and look at like, what is the overall protocol that you're giving them that's asking for that. Now, are you asking me in a competition prep setting, or are you asking me in like real life setting? Because if it's a comp prep setting, listen, you're the one that decided to get on a stage in very little clothing, and you need to look a certain way. And by the way, you're telling the world that I'm the one doing your diet, so I'm sorry, you're going to be a little bit restricted. But if you're just here and you're saying, I want to lose some weight, and this is a lifelong thing, and we're genuinely trying to create transformation, and again, I'll reference the 10 years versus 10 weeks. Like, if I'm setting you up to where you feel like you need that, I'm fucking up, not you.
Well, the name itself, cheat day, implies you're doing something
deviation.
Wrong. Yeah, exactly. Like but like to your point, do I think that having a surplus day of calories? No, it's actually a great and smart thing to do. Yeah, and I do that with any clients that I have in a caloric deficit, especially when I'm running them on a caloric deficit for weeks at a time. I will insert a high calorie day. I'll say, hey, Friday, because we've been running now for 4 days in a row of, 1,700 calories. I want you to have between 2,200 and 2,500 calories. And I'll give that as a goal,
I think I'm super neurotic, like when I work with clients, and I only work with a handful of clients anymore. I'll literally, when they're 6 to 8 weeks out from whatever their peak is, like if it's a physique show, or like, dude, I'm looking at pictures and weight every day. And I'm calling these audibles, like what you were just describing. Like, I'm looking and I'm like, all right, you're a little flat, we can push a little harder. And like, so I'm working with a WWE guy right now. And for the first time, I can't say who, because what I'm going to tell you, but like for the first time, it looks like he's going to make the main card on WrestleMania, which is a huge accomplishment for him, right?
Cool. I was just going to say Gravedigger, but that's
the Undertaker.
Monster Trucks.
The Undertaker. I did work with his. Yes. I did work with his wife this year.
Oh, no way!
Yeah,
did you really?
Yeah,
I love that guy.
So it looks like he's actually Bailey from WWE lives up here, and we were going to connect later today. I just started working with her.
Oh, very cool.
But yeah, like but like with him, same deal. Like as it gets closer, we're looking every day, and I'm calling that audible, right? But that's such a neuroses, and so then we got to take a step back, and it's like, all right, what is the personality of this individual that's taking on this endeavor?